A lot worse in England at first because they had no defenses, and they went over, well, I recall one instance of where they had put 120 B-17s up and 60 of them came home.
So Dad, I'm looking through this blue book, as John calls it, and John had asked you the question about casualties as far as manpower and aircraft power, and just as a FYI for you, this thing said it gives what was on hand at the beginning of each month, and there's 4 or 5 pages going from February through April, May, and June, and it says on average there were about 4,500 combat personnel on hand at the beginning of the month, and total losses equal about 4,400 people. So it says every sortie that went up 15 to 17% of the men didn't come back.
That's probably true.
And it's like that at each thing, and the aircraft too. They would lose in typical in any month's time, lose about 20% of the aircraft in the time that you were stationed over there. Man.
To back up a little bit, the first combat aircraft training I had was in a B-17, and I had about 100 hours in that thing, and they sent me to Tucson, and we were going into Tucson on the train, and we passed the airfield, which was Davis-Monthan Army Airfield, and there were these B-24s out there on the ramp, and we said amongst ourselves, "What the hell is that thing?" It was a weird-looking airplane in its day, but it turned out to be a good one. It brought me home.
I have one final question. Can you just describe what the flak felt like and looked like as you flew through it?
God, it looked horrible. Most flak batteries consisted of 4 cannons, and they all fired simultaneously. And when they burst, these 4 anti-aircraft shells would burst in black smoke, and it would just be black, 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 black. And you knew there was stuff flying out of them, so you tightened up your butt and just hung onto the cushion for all you were worth till you got through it. And most of us got through it. But it was a tough sight to see one of your buddies or acquaintances spiral down like that. The sheets not get out of them. But I didn't have that experience, thank the Lord.
So when you went up, do you have a parachute on the whole time?
Yeah.
Okay.
We used to use in the bombers what they call chest packs, and the chute was in front of you.
You never did jump out though?
No.
Did you ever practice parachuting?
Yes.
From I mean, not just from a tower, but from a plane?
No.
Just to practice from the tower?
No, I wasn't going to get out of an airplane unless it was on fire.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
once you told me once that what's the good of jumping out of a perfectly operational aircraft?
Yeah.
Not when you're a pilot. If you're in the if that's your job, you need to be able to do it well. What was I mean, was your mother was a battalion extraction, wasn't she?
Yes.
How did she feel about you being stationed in Italy?
She never mentioned it.
Did you enjoy enjoy any of the experience of being in Italy?
Oh, yeah.
Other than the camaraderie?
Yeah. Yeah. Got go to various places in Italy on official business, and spent a week in a rest center on the Mediterranean, which was a resort that they'd taken over for that purpose. I enjoyed that week. Had my first taste of octopus.
Oh, yeah, that can be quite an experience.
It wasn't bad.
It's much better than you would think. So that was a resort that was just for officers?
Yes.
Okay, that's very nice, Jim. Just officers at a resort. And in the town that you were stationed in, were you? I assume you were allowed to go out and walk around the town when you were off duty.
A very small town, not much there, but it was good to get out and walk around.
Okay. Did you enjoy the food?
Most of my food was Army food. It wasn't too enjoyable.
Well, I mean, if you went out walking around town, could you go into an Italian restaurant?
You could.
And say, I'm going to get some decent food for a change?
You could. I didn't.
But that had to be quite an experience for everybody serving in Europe, is getting a little bit of the flavor of what many of their ancestors
One of the
had
things
had.
that was good was the wine was good over there. And we had a 5-gallon jug, which got filled for $1.25.
Well, I hope it lasts you at least a night. So, but that was probably something you were sharing with a number of
Oh yeah.
people.
One of the things that was good, I always enjoyed, when you got back from a mission, you got a shot of whiskey.
You needed it.
And most of us saved it up until we had a fairly good quantity of it, and then hung one on.
Well, the good thing is that all your missions were planned missions, so it's not like you had to suddenly run out on the tarmac and get your planes to go fight off an attack.
No, it was meticulously planned with road maps and charts and estimates of the time it would take to fly the mission, where the anti-aircraft guns were, and
So
other details that helped us.
are the movies that you see about World War II correct in that before you'd have a mission like this, you'd all get into a briefing room and discuss the mission?
Oh yeah.
All right, so that's fairly accurate.
So at what level were you bombing from? How many feet up?
Generally 20,000 to about 24,000.
And how would you describe the level of accuracy?
Few. There was no level of accuracy. We did what was called carpet bombing. You had a lead bombardier navigator that took over the lead airplane, and the squadron, of course, stayed with him. When we got to the drop point, when the lead airplane dropped its bombs, everybody dropped their bombs. So it would just be a carpet of bombs on the ground. That's why they call it carpet bombing.
Do you remember how many pieces of ordnance were on how many you dropped?
Normally, our loads were 500-pound bombs. We carried 12 of them.
12 of them, okay.
1,000-pound bombs, we only carried 6.
Now, Harry, was that an automatic system, or did somebody have to move each bomb into position, roll it into position to be dropped manually?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's not like you could, like, they didn't come out all at once. You dropped one, then somebody had to roll the second one into position and drop that.
No. If it was a 500 pounders, there were bomb racks in the bomb bay, and each bomb hooked onto a device, I don't know what it was called. And when the bombardier dropped them, if he was going to drop them in sequence, he dropped what was called a salvo. And the salvo, they all went out. If we were trying to do individual bombing, you could trigger them out one at a time. Or you'd set up. Actually, they were dropped by the bomb site, the very famous Norden bomb site, which calculated all that stuff.
And tried to make it more accurate, but it didn't quite work.
Didn't quite work. We bombed many a hayfield, I'm sure.
Many a veal cutlet was cut short.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right, now let's jump back.